Lee,
I'm going to turn my video off because I need to eat. Sorry.
Yeah, me too.
Maura. Okay, so
So-
I've got Pam, Jean, Lee, Maura, myself. Anybody else?
Then we have a public participant, Lori,
Yes,
who's
Yeah,
going to be joining.
yes,
But tonight she's public.
yes.
So-
Right.
So,
I'm here, Grace. This is Crystal.
Okay.
Crystal, did you turn is the recording
Yes, she
turned
is.
on?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Cool.
so 7:03, we're called to order.
Okay, 7:03.
Okay, no alternates to seat, and we have a public
Wait.
participant.
Pam is an alternate, isn't she?
Pam is an alternate, yeah.
That's right, I am.
All right, sorry, Pam's an
That's
alternate.
okay. 2, 3, 4.
Waiting to become, you know, full-time.
Yeah,
Well, now,
yeah, now that
With-
we have another Republican, Crystal does
Exactly.
that. Can we add another Democrat?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay.
I'll have to look at the numbers when I get to the office tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, so welcome Lori
Thanks.
Barefoot.
That's right.
Do you have any questions for us, or you want to tell us your background, a
Sure.
little bit about you?
Sure. I'd be happy to. I don't really have any questions because I really don't know very much about the commission except for what I've listened to in Zoom meetings. I've spent the last couple of days reviewing your old meeting minutes and Zooms. So very informative, but beyond that, I don't have questions. I'm a practitioner. I do clinical research. And I was saying before you joined that I'm really a country bumpkin. I grew up in upstate New York on a farm, and
We're in upstate New York.
Argyle, small town.
hmm,
Which part of New York?
So it's in the eastern side, really right bumping up against the Vermont border, and it's north
Okay.
of Saratoga, about an hour north of Albany.
Okay.
So definitely farming territory. All of my acquaintances and family were farmers when we were growing up. And I really never went to a city until I was probably about 12, and quite a shock for me. And then I moved to Massachusetts, and I worked in Boston for many years, and I still work in Boston, in fact. And I'm happy to always come home. And a couple years back in 2017, I decided I was going to sell my house in Upton, Mass. And I was going to buy a house in Webster, and I took a wrong turn and landed in Thompson, and I felt like I was home. Didn't have any houses in Thompson at the time. So I went a little further and I found the perfect house in Woodstock. So I'm here since and love it here. This feels like home to me. So
Awesome.
I'm very
Wonderful.
interested in conservation issues and preserving what we can of our natural resources. And if there's anything that I can do, try to participate in how we can do that for our future, I'm really interested and anxious to do my part.
Lori, this is Grace. I just want to
Great.
say, I got the copy of your application. That has to go to the
Selectmen.
selectmen, not us.
Yes,
Okay.
I
I
did
didn't
check
know if
that.
you knew that.
It says so on the bottom, and so it's
Okay.
in the mail, in the proverbial
Okay.
mail.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
So they may get it in about 2 months.
Well, that was, initially I was not planning to actually mail it in until after I attended this meeting tonight. And then after I listened to some of the Zoom meetings, I thought, no, I'm not going to wait. I really do want to join this commission if they'll have me. And I realized that it couldn't possibly arrive in time by mailing it today. Today is the day I mailed it. But I hope you'll get it before the month is up. Maybe, yeah, I think a week or two should probably do it. But I just ended up
You
send it
mean
by
to
email.
go from the Woodstock post office down the street to the town hall? Yeah, that could take a while.
we've had trouble. Everybody's done a great job.
I'm just joking about all the packages that,
With
yeah.
the packages, there's been a little bit of issue, but everyone's done a great job with the mail during this rough time. Anyways, if there's anything
been
more that you'd
interesting.
like to know, I'm happy to tell you. Just ask.
Thanks.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, anyone look at the minutes and any comments
I make a
or
motion to
questions?
approve the minutes.
Well,
Jean?
the only thing, so Gene, in the DRC report, did we discuss the new DRC guidelines to go to P and Z?
It's down
That's
below
me-
a little further.
I
Oh,
think
it is.
Grace, she did cover it, but yeah, it
Okay.
she made a paragraph into something that should have been a separate paragraph.
Okay, where
Okay,
is it?
so a little further down in the minutes. Keep going.
I'm an idiot. I don't see it. P&Z. Oh, yeah, okay, no, gas P&Z drinking watershed guidelines, decorating house.
Keep going.
Sustainable Connecticut is a new business?
I don't know. I just sent an extra copy of the minutes. Didn't you get it?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Oh, I looked at the other one.
I'm looking at the one you just sent a few minutes ago.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
maybe down in open discussion or review. The sentence was Pillow wanted you to look at what we
Yeah,
were
it says-
sending.
Yeah, no, I don't see that. The one you just sent us, I don't see it in the minutes. And anyone else see it? The minutes from like 6:48 today.
Yep.
I didn't see those.
I just sent them like 10 minutes ago,
Yeah,
just because I figured nobody could find them or remember them.
So I'm looking at the ones I posted on the website. And it says, Pillow will send a link of the checklist we are advocating P and Z uses on drinking watershed guidelines. Is that what you're looking for?
There you go. That's what I was talking about.
On the
C,
P&Z
Lee.
report, C, 8C under old business.
yeah, but it's more than drinking watershed guidelines. It's development review, isn't it? It's subdivision review.
Okay, fine.
Pre-development
Yes,
review checklist.
Yeah,
There you
it's not P
go.
and Z uses on drinking watershed guidelines. It's P and Z. It's development review for subdivision application.
Development, hold on. Review for, go say it again.
Subdivision applications.
Subdivision application. Okay, and did that get sent?
So I think,
Sent it to Lily.
yeah, you didn't see my email, Gene. We'll talk when we get the DRC report. I'll ask you.
Okay,
But I sent you an email back with a question.
okay. Now I
We'll
turned
talk
off my
about
work
that.
computer. And I haven't been checking my email because I'm on vacation.
Okay, good for you. Okay, so with that amendment, any other comments, questions? We have a motion to accept the minutes. Is there a second?
Sure, I'll second.
Okay, any
Pam.
any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I
Treasurers-
abstain.
Yes,
Wasn't here.
okay.
Yeah, well,
Treasurer's report?
in the special, we have 216122. And with the normal is 1,844.38.
Okay, any
reading-
questions for,
Did you get the invoice from E ECCD? yet?
No,
It's coming. It
Well,
should be coming. I
when
know
it
there's,
when it gets here, we'll figure it out. I went to go and find the communications today and realized that the town hall was closed for an extended Christmas vacation, so there is no communications.
When do we have to spend the money by? Is Jordan?
June
Oh.
30th.
What?
June 30th, Jordan. So you said 1,400?
No, $1,844.38.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
Exactly the
didn't
same as last month.
write it down. Okay,
Okay, and then I got a communication from the Connecticut Land Conservation Council. If anyone's interested in reading what's new with them, I can send you a copy of the communication.
Okay. I think they sent an email to a bunch of us,
Oh, okay.
but that's okay.
I'm interested in receiving it. It's Lori.
Okay. I'll forward it to you.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
so
get
under
their-
old,
I get their
Sorry.
I get their e-newsletter. So
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about, Grace?
yeah.
okay, chairman's report, nothing to report. So old business. So the first is the DRC report. So Lori, probably one of the most important things we do as a commission is we review developmental subdivision proposals.
Okay,
And we're kind of the yin to the developer's yang.
okay,
And we review it to minimize environmental impact, to maximize open space. And we have a checklist that we use. Fortunately or unfortunately, we've been kind of slow the last few years because there really hasn't been a lot of development in our community. But
I would think that's picking up right now as everybody moves out of urban areas and looking for a space, open and a quiet area. That might.
Yes.
change.
Well, yes, but most people are looking for homes. They're not, what we're basically looking for are different development areas,
yeah, but a developer may decide to build new
That's
homes
true.
and for, people who want to move in.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah. So we didn't review anything last month, and then Jean wonderfully worked on a new checklist that we have that developers will fill out and then present to P&Z. So the question I have for you, Jean, is does the developer have to fill out both forms?
The first form is the natural resource inventory form. And that's before they start drawing their subdivision, ideally. And the second form is their low impact development checklist, which they have to complete. I would like for them to complete and submit with their application to show that they put good thought process into managing stormwater runoff. So yes, they do
Okay.
need both of them.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So I'll send that off to Jeff. So Lori, so we kind of review on behest of planning and zoning. So we're under them, and we advise them. They'll send us questions, and we'll review things and advise them.
Okay, so this commission is notified as soon as new development is proposed.
We
Correct.
are on the mailing list I chair the subcommittee, and Lee is a regular. Jordan is often there as well. We will go through our own review and then see what they wrote on their checklist. And if we see something that stands out as a red flag, we'll call it out. Or if there's something that was overlooked, we try to bring that up so that they can be aware of it. And sometimes it does they make changes.
Mhm.
Sometimes they just say, well, that's your opinion, but a lot of
Right.
times it does make a difference.
Okay, and so this commission's checklist aligns with the other checklist as well in terms
Um,
of the same item?
We had our own checklist. Okay, this gets a little bit complicated. We developed our own checklist over a decade ago, and it was for compatibility with our plan of open space and conservation. So the checklist was, okay, we want you to be thinking about conservation. Is this development plan compatible with that? And we would give them some guidance on what we thought would be compatible, and protecting drinking water supplies is a #1 priority for us, and protecting farmland and not fragmenting forests. And so like making them think about those things as they're putting their little lines on the paper. So we get to say what we think is important and they get to develop at the same time. So there's less conflict. I work professionally for the Eastern Connecticut Conservation District, and I just completed a watershed plan for the Natural watershed, which is about a third of our town, drains down to Willimantic's drinking water supply. And I updated our checklist. I added things to it. So we're asking planning and zoning to consider adopting that change checklist.
Okay. Excellent.
Okay, any other questions or comments for Jean?
I
Okay,
just wanted to say
then-
on the development in town, I was impressed by the number of small business applications that we have that
Oh,
came
yeah.
through this past month. I mean, there are no new buildings being built for them, but we're repurposing empty places, which is awesome. Dake Kimball Hospital Satellite Office down on 171. There was an application to make that a new veterinary hospital. A
Yeah, I saw that.
bakery. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. It was amazing that many new small businesses wanted to start up in Woodstock in 1 month. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it really, you're right. I agree. Okay, so another thing that we do is we work with other town commissions. And one of the commissions is open space and land acquisition. And Crystal Adams is our representative on the committee. Anything to report for last month, Crystal?
Crystal Adams speaking. At the last Board of Selectmen meeting, they moved to, under executive orders, to approve the acquisition of the development rights for Maple Crest Farm. So we're very
Okay.
excited about that.
Great.
That
Has
was
it gone to
something,
the Board of Finance yet?
it went preliminarily, back in September, I think. I think it's on the agenda for their January 5th meeting, or 8th, whatever the first meeting in January is for them. I have to look at a calendar to see. It's like the 5th or the 8th or something like that. It's on their agenda.
Okay, any other questions for Crystal? Okay, Jean stole my thunder with the P and Z report. She's right. There are a lot of, it's amazing. I never seen so many applications for new businesses, but it's old established places that have closed and other people are moving in. Another commission that we work with is the Agriculture Commission. Woodstock is a farm-friendly town, and the Conservation Commissions, we try to preserve. One of our duties, or what, is to try to preserve open space and farmland, and maintain the working farm. So our Ag Commission representative is Grace. Did you guys have a meeting last month?
No, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, right. Next is stewardship. So another role that we have is to oversee space that is put aside to be open. They're called easements, and a development will set aside a piece of property to stay wild. And one of our roles is to monitor these spaces to make sure, somebody hasn't extended their backyard or is dumping trash or has built a shed. And we try to find people to be our eyes and ears. And, what we're hoping for is once a year to get all our stewards together and give us reports. So Maura, you're active in the stewardship, right?
Yes.
So
So
anything to report there?
not since the last time it's kind of tailed off a little bit, I think because of the holidays and the weather, but we have the list, and as soon as we can start going again, we're going to try to do some more marking boundaries is what we're doing. And it's also, we're doing it on the, I believe we're doing it on the easements now, and that there's also town-owned land that may need to be marked as well. But I think Beth is another person who is helping out with that. So
Yeah.
yep.
And
I think Ruby too.
And
Go,
this is Grace on the open space over on Quarry Road. I did try to go over there and figure out markings and boundaries. And of course, the problem with it is you need to have somebody who's licensed to do that before you start putting up markers. And I'm not guessing that the town is going to pay for any real survey. I did, as I said, I went over there and ran into one of the abutters who was not overly thrilled that we were there. And he informed me that nothing was being done, and that the property lines were a little different than what I was showing him. He pretty much told me my map was ridiculous. So I didn't think it was going to be very productive to ask him any further. And he very promptly informed me that all of the abutters are hunters, so that, maybe I wouldn't want to be out there now. And I agreed with him. So I figured we're going to let that go a little bit, possibly in the spring. I do have a couple of leads of people that might be interested in helping me mark it up that wouldn't charge us a fortune to do it. But right now it's on hold.
Grace, would you
What-
repeat what property that was?
Yeah.
What?
Which property
Say
was
again?
that?
The Quarry Perrin Road.
Is that an
The open
easement or
space that we did. It's open
Forest
space.
Street.
It's 100
Put that on.
acres.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
that
We
one,
had
okay.
the,
does the town
Yeah.
own it, or is it an easement? Is it
Yeah.
town owned?
no,
Town-owned.
it's town owned. Yep.
I
It's
don't
town
know.
owned open.
Yeah. I don't know that
Town
it's,
owned open space.
I don't know that it's
Go
true
ahead.
that you need a licensed person to do boundaries, but you definitely want someone who feels very confident, that they've marked them accurately. And yeah,
Well,
that's,
let's just say the feedback I got was standoffish, and he was very, very upset that we were there.
Well, Grace,
So-
I'd like to, because I don't really understand what property that is, and I would like to look at the the legal paperwork for the transfer to to the town on that property, because it should state very specifically, should also state specifically what the boundaries are. That's been my
Yeah.
experience in looking at the other ones. And he may just need a nicely worded letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as I said,
so-
the bottom line is nobody's going to go out walking in the woods in this area right now. It's hunting season.
Well, it's hunting for specific, it's not like deer hunting. It's deer
Yes, it
hunting, but
is.
right, but it's not regular shotgun. It's a very
Yes, it
specific.
is.
Oh, it's a very
It's
specific.
gun. Yeah.
No,
I
but it's a
know.
very
gun-
specific type that not a lot of people use. But anyways, I apologize, Grace, if we
Yeah.
weren't clear about what we're doing with Ruby, which is really helpful, is we're telling her which properties we'd like to go out to, and she is actually sending a letter to the abutters before we
Yep.
go, so that you don't run into that problem, because you don't want, you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to have hostile people. So we let
No.
people know, and then we even invite maybe some of them if they want to come with us, and, try to be a very
Mhm.
friendly presence. And, ultimately, whatever the deed says, if it allows hunting, if, where the boundaries are that the town has is going to be what we go by. People can say what they want, but, it needs
Well,
to
as I said, it's
Yeah.
been a bone of contention. The whole property's been a bone of contention for quite a while. And there are issues. Some of the boundaries are very well marked, others are not.
be, okay.
Where it's, so that it's an issue. And as I said, I just wasn't up for arguing with the guy when he said, make sure you wear your orange. It's like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
make sure. But anyway, we have
Grace,
been
this is
working on
Jean.
it.
Well, which abutter was the one that you had a problem with? Petrozeva's gone, right?
Yeah, but the people that bought the property from them, they're now building a house right on the edge where we had access. And this gentleman informed me our access was down the road, but there's no markings. As I say, I kind of went away a little disconcerted.
Well, I
'Cause there
would
was
think
no
the
way of
town would
getting
have
in
an
there.
Interest in making this very clear to any new purchasers. And they should have been made aware.
New
when-
purchaser,
But
no, it's open space. It's not going to be purchased by
But you're
anybody.
talking about an abutter who's very close to the space that seems to be, in some people's minds, in question.
One of the issues, Ruby and Grace, is that the access, the property the town owned, the town received because of lack of tax payments. So it was acquired through, tax arrears. It was on a road that at one time went from Perrin Road to Quarry Road. That road is now washed away. So we cannot access the town property from the Woodstock end. We have to access the property from Pomfret. So the new property owner lives in Pomfret, not Woodstock. So it was, and Petrozeba, who owned that property before him, had a problem with us accessing our property on a discontinued road where the lost, completely is on our side, that no land could be landlocked. So it's just a matter of explaining what we're trying to do, that we're not going to go in there and set up a campground or, there was a big concern of Petrozeba. He didn't want kids getting back in there and partying. That's why he put the gate up that he really can't do, because he can't block us from accessing our property. But it's something that would take a lot of lawyer power, which is something the town can't afford. So we kind of have to be delicate and work carefully around this particular person.
Well, anyway, it's pretty much on hold until at least springtime.
That's too
Or I
bad.
should say, well, but there's nothing now, there's nothing to be done with this. I did walk the property. Nobody is doing anything they're not dumping anything or anything like that, or stealing any wood or, doing any chopping down on our piece. They're doing it on their own property. So, at least it is preserved as is for the time being. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's good, because that would be the main concern.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, any other discussion on stewardship? So, Lori, one of the nice things about the Conservation Commission is we take on people's pet projects. And we've looked into like the salt issues and the aquifers, and years ago solar power, and we've just, if somebody comes up with an idea, we support it and we work with them. And one of the projects right now is Jean's project, the Pollinator Pathway Project.
I
So
love what
Jean,
I
yeah.
read about that. That's fantastic.
Well, thank you. All right, so an update on the Pollinator Pathway Project. Last month, I said I was going to decorate my house for the light contest with solar-powered pollinator lights. I did it. Grace probably saw it more than I did because she went by my house more than I did. But I put up signs, and so I have solar-powered bee lights, and I put underneath it, "Let there be bees on earth, and let it begin with me." I had hummingbirds mobile, and I wrote little hummingbirds. What was the other one? Butterflies. Hark the lepidopteran wings. Just wordplay things. And I put a big sign up saying Woodstock Pollinator Pathway and the website address. But I don't think you could see it at night, but a lot of people saw it during the day. So whether it got, and then of course I put it on Facebook, so people saw it. Even if they couldn't see it, they saw it anyway. So they knew it was there. Keeping the interest up. I think a spring program of some type is going to be important to, if we want to kick this off properly. Again, we could try again. Maybe get a guest speaker. Maura had gotten a really great speaker from the Xerces Society to give a talk once. And I think because we are still going to be doing remote meetings, they'd be willing to do something like that if we want to sponsor a talk. I did do the Walktober event, and I was asked if I would repeat it again in spring for Spring Outdoors for the last Green Valley. I'm giving that some thought, although I'd have to make all new signs because different things will be in bloom. I'd like to get more coordinated to contact our local plant nurseries, which would be Sprucedale's, Mackey's, and Woodstock Farms, to see if we can get them to carry more native plants if we're really going to do this in earnest. And Ruby, I'm gonna have to work with you again. I got to get that Facebook page up and running and connected so I can use it easily. So
Okay.
I'll coordinate with you on that. But we really need to start building up excitement about this. There's so many great websites and Facebook pages that have great articles and or little posters that we could share and really quick and get people interested. I think we also need to talk to the Beautification Committee and the Arboretum Committee to see if they're really interested in buying into this. Both of those committees don't exclusively plant native plants. The Arboretum has a lot of exotic species in there, and they probably do use herbicides, which is something we're trying to discourage. The Beautification Committee, that's going to take a lot of education too. The town of Wyndham actually got a resolution passed that on town properties, they will abide by the standards of the Pollinator Pathway Initiative, planting only native plants, not using herbicides, and what was the other one? We're reducing lawns and stuff. I mean, they put a nice thing together that could be modified. So I think we need to get to that step, but I don't want to do that step until I talk to the Beautification Committee and the Arboretum Committee to make sure they're on the same page. And I was also thinking, Lee, that man that wanted to plant the dogwood trees, wouldn't it be great
yeah.
if he, wouldn't it be great if he'd plant them in front of the Woodstock Town Hall? As part of the Pollinator Pathway Initiative? If he'd sponsor some trees to be planted right in front of the town hall?
Yeah, that's not what he wanted. He wanted the town, the highways to look like the old Merritt Parkway used to look. That was his sole purpose.
Well, let's see if he'd want to sponsor a couple trees out in front of the town
No,
hall.
No, this
I
is,
mean,
this is Crystal speaking. We suggested trees in front of the town hall and trees in front of the middle school. And no, he was very, very specific about where he wanted those trees planted.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that is a wonderful project. I have something to, yeah, that might be of interest. I have an American chestnut growing on my property.
Oh,
Oh,
do you?
cool.
It's been identified by Kendra Collins at the New England Regional Science Coordinator. She's part of the American Chestnut Foundation.
Mhm.
So they're planning to come, the two people from Connecticut Division are planning to
Jack Pratt, yeah.
in the spring to pollinate. So I don't know how much fruit it will bear, but there's going to be, I hope, a ton of burrs that might become available for people to plant.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that actually it was one of our projects earlier this year. We had a talk on the subject.
Laura,
So
has this been identified as a completely American chestnut that's going to die after 40 years? Or has it been?
No one has identified its expected lifespan,
Okay.
but they have confirmed that genetically it's an American chestnut.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
as far
and
as
as
the
I
other
said,
fruit,
yeah.
maybe, but it is about 50 feet tall right now.
Wow.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's
As
some good
Lee
ones growing up
said,
on
we
Bull
had-
Hill Ridge.
Yeah, as Lee said, we had Jack Spratt from the Connecticut come and do a talk at the town hall about them. And I actually, oh, he just did something too. But I mean, I'm sure, they do check the genetics. And as they say, unfortunately, because the purebred American chestnuts tend to get the
Blight,
whatever the
yeah.
heck it is, I can't,
It's
the
it's-
blight,
Blight.
that's it.
Blight.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
blight.
That does kill them,
Yeah,
but no, that's wonderful.
I don't know if what they have in mind for the
Mhm.
program that they're going to propose, but it might be
Mhm.
cross-pollination with a more hardy species. I'm not certain.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
definitely want to take advantage of the opportunity, at least while it's alive. It's still producing a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That is so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Keep us updated.
Okay.
I'd like to know how that goes.
Yeah. Jack is supposed to come. I think June is when he said.
Yeah.
Lori, this is Jordan. You get chestnuts then?
They're like these flat pancakey sort of things, and apparently it's because I don't have another chestnut.
Yeah.
The goal is to pollinate. So he's probably going to need to bring in a lift in May or June, and they'll be able to reach to the top of the tree. And I don't know, maybe he's going to bring in pollinators. I'm not sure. Maybe we can get some of yours, Jean.
I know that my neighbors' beehives are thriving because of the pollinators on my property. That's really interesting.
Great, thank you.
Cool. Okay, another project that we've taken up is a statewide project called Sustainable Connecticut, and Crystal Adams is our town representative. Can you explain that Sustainable Connecticut to Lori, Crystal?
Yeah, so Sustainable Connecticut is something that towns can voluntarily join. They have to it's a resolution, and then the goal would be to work with different boards and commissions to take on different tasks that the Sustainable Connecticut has put together. For example, in January, there's 2 Zoom meetings or webinars that would be geared more towards planning and zoning. I'm going to pass that information along to Jeff Gordon, the chair, but one is learn more about how the desegregate Connecticut proposals have developed and how they might affect your community. And the other one is on vacant property strategies. But there's ones that have to do with farming and with infrastructure, with roads, but like with an eye towards doing it in a more sustainable way. So they have a lot of education and workshops that they offer.
And some of the work that we do would already naturally qualify for points. It's a point system and you want to get bronze level, silver level, so the more points you get, the more status you get. And the town can get grants based on participating. So there's positives to come out of this, but a lot of the work the Conservation Commission does already would qualify for satisfying some of the requirements, like having a workshop on pollinators would be sustainable. It would fit in.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just an example. If you want to work on the chestnuts, just if a member comes up with an idea, we just put it on the agenda and, we go with it. Okay. Any questions for Crystal? So the next thing is I got an email from Karen Fitzpatrick about our budget. So they're proposing again $1,914, but so this is what she writes. In the past, we have added an additional $1,000 to include membership to the ECCD. Please indicate if you would still like to continue membership in your budget request, and if possible, would you be able to provide a brief summary of what they contribute to your board? Now, I thought the town came to us and said, we're putting it in your budget. So what do I tell her?
What do they bring to the, what they bring?
What do they provide
this
to
is
our
where I have a
board?
conflict of interest because I work for the district, as does Maura. What are we doing? We're working with the ECCD is working with Woodstock farmers to get them grants to improve their farming operations and make them eligible for more grant funding.
Right,
so
but that has nothing to do with our Conservation Commission.
Well, it was only put in the Conservation Commission budget because I think they didn't want to keep it as a line item in the regular budget. So they said, well, that comes under conservation. We're going to put it here. So,
right. So the town told us. Good.
Yeah. Okay. I was just going to say ECC does a lot of services for all our towns in the 36 towns in Eastern Connecticut, but Woodstock is one of the ones we work in most. So right now we are working with Matt Peckham on multiple improvements on the former Eddy farm, putting in a freestall barn, improving his silage storage. So those are things that benefit the town of Woodstock. We did the Roseland Lake Management Plan, which benefits the town of Woodstock. So there's it was put in our Conservation Commission budget so that it would be kind of, I don't know if they were just trying to figure out where it went. If they put it as a line item, it'd be easier struck out or something. I don't know.
It's not just agriculture though. It's improving water quality. So it has to do with conservation, all these things that we do.
Right, but it has nothing to do with us. It has to do with the town. So
well, then tell them that.
Yeah, I can explain how it benefits the town, but it really doesn't do anything for the board or the commission.
I just rewrote that checklist. Gave it to
Well,
you. I did
Right,
that
but
at
it's
work.
not, yeah, but it's not ECCD membership. The Conservation Commission belonging to
The town,
ECCD
the
helps
town
the
belongs
town.
to the town
Right.
belongs to ECCD, not just the
Right.
Conservation Commission.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's good. I'll tell her it's good for the town and we support it, but it's,
Really shouldn't be in
The-
our budget, but if they're not gonna pay for it,
yeah,
Like I said,
We
I have a
want it.
conflict of interest, so I gotta be very
yeah,
careful.
same
how I-
here.
right. But I can't give them a brief summary of what they contribute to the Conservation Commission because
no,
they contribute to the town. They're not contributing to the
Lee,
Conservation
I can send you the
Commission.
one I wrote up that we sent to the town when we sent the first time when they decided to put it back into the budget.
Okay.
We have a list, a running list of projects we've done in Woodstock.
Okay,
So-
I mean, I
And
guess
that-
you could say that ECCD supports what the Conservation Commission supports, all these things benefit, what we are about as a Conservation Commission, we're about protecting water quality and all of these things. So the goals are, so I don't know.
Lee, you
It-
might also want to just tell her that it was the town that put it on our commission, and then maybe there's someone else she needs to talk to understand why it was put here and not somewhere else.
The thing
Yeah.
that's
That's
really
what I was-
awkward, it's very awkward because 2 ECCD staff are on the Conservation Commission. So
so
for
that
us
should
to
make
have
it
it
more
in our
that we shouldn't
budget,
be, we shouldn't
no,
be
I'm
involved.
just gonna have to, I'm gonna have to say that it was put in our budget at the request of the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah,
And ECCD supports Conservation Commission goals. And I'll attach Jean's list of ways ECCD helps the town. And we would recommend that the $1,000 membership be included and continued in our budget.
sounds like a plan.
Okay.
I agree.
We're trying to bury it, definitely.
Well,
No, I mean,
that's, you've got to. I mean, it was thrust on us. And at the bottom of when I asked for her financial reports, it says, by the way, another $1,000 was added to conservation so that they can pay ECCD. So, I mean, it's right there in her financials. That town did it, not us.
yeah, it's
And the
just-
other thing, I'd like to, we're talking about the 2021 budget. So that's due in July, correct?
But we have to submit by January 20th.
We're supposed to submit our
Okay.
budget at the beginning of the year.
Okay,
Yeah, the new budget starts, this is Crystal speaking, the new budget starts July 1st, but
yeah.
it needs to be submitted in January and then February,
Yeah,
March.
I guess.
There's
It
meetings
takes
about
6
it.
months, yeah.
It's a long
okay.
process.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, moving
So
on
the
to,
upshot is, Lee, you will send an
I'll
email to Karen?
yeah, what I just said, I'll, explain to
Cool.
her how the money
Yep.
got there and we support it and here's how they help the town and we'd advise to continue,
Yep,
the membership.
okay. Cool.
Okay, new business. Did anyone go to Kakiwick?
No.
Not go, you mean attend.
Attend. Well, go virtually.
I didn't.
Okay. Okay, any, Grace, you hear about any upcoming workshops or anyone hear about anything coming
Well,
up?
I forwarded the e-newsletter from Yale Forest that just an hour ago. They are having, and again, they will be some Zoom workshop with a follow-up in the forest. So that'll be cool. Again, as I said, I sent it to everybody. You should have gotten it.
Yes, I saw
hope.
that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, then we always end with an open discussion where anyone could give us, talk about anything and any ideas. So open discussion more, anything to talk about?
Well, actually, now that you mention it, I was wondering if the commission would be on board with writing some kind of letter of recommendation to the Board of Selectmen to up the hours of the wetlands agent, who is also planning and zoning, zoning agent as well. She is currently, I believe, at 3 hours a week. And just from experience of reporting potential violations, the turnaround time, and this is not in any way directed at the wetlands agent, because I really feel it's a matter of she just does not have enough time to, and they've cut those hours. And having been a former wetlands agent, I mean, to do that kind of work in 3 hours a week, I mean, it really, it's not possible because there's paperwork alone. And so she, I had, like I said, I had a couple of things that I reported, and the timeliness was just not there for it being addressed through no fault of her own. And that's what she explained to me, is that she just had so many other things. And, I don't think the wetlands agent hours should be cut, because this is an important service, and it's mandated. It's something that the state, we're required to do. And so when you have a violation or a potential violation, that she can follow up on every one that she gets, it just took a really long time, and it's still in the process. I mean, we're talking months and months and months, over 6 months. I mean, that to me is not really acceptable for, being able to follow up in a timely way if somebody is doing something, and to actually be able to, they've already done it by that time, and it's, so I guess that's just something that I thought that if it had the backing of our commission, that they may reconsider trying to find the money in the budget, because I just think that's a really important service, and it needs to be timely, followed up on timely.
Laura, this is Jordan. So how many hours is she working elsewhere? If we ask her for more hours, she loses hours elsewhere?
I don't know. I wouldn't suggest that, because
No, but I mean,
I'm
if-
sure she can't, because I mean, she's probably straight out with all the hours, that she
40 hours
has.
a week she's got?
What's that?
She has a 40-hour week, do you think?
No, she's part-time, Jordan.
Oh,
She's
okay.
also a real estate agent on the side.
Okay, so they're fine, yeah. I'll make a motion to make that happen.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion,
Discussion, yes.
have you talked to Mark Parker or Marla Butts from Wetlands, and so that we could collaborate with them on this, because they're the ones that really depend on our services as their agent. So
Right. And I know that they have requested, obviously, that she needs more hours. And this was quite a while ago. I think I read in some minutes. So I think they would be completely in favor of us, giving that support as well, because I'm sure they realize that she needs more hours. And I haven't actually talked to them, but I can do that.
Okay, I recommend that we do that in coordination with them, so that if they're saying, what is she talking about? We don't have any problem. I would like to make sure that, I know they feel that way. I've heard Marla speak.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but anyway, it'd be good that if we had a joint front on that.
Yep.
Amend
I
my
agree.
motion then to include that we go ahead and include the other wetland commission, other commissions, to make sure we get everybody in on board to give her more hours.
Well, maybe
Okay.
we should do the research first.
Yeah, really.
And then make the next month. Bring it back up.
I withdraw my motion then.
Okay,
Yeah.
just Grace, include that in old business for next month.
Sure.
Thanks.
This is Crystal speaking. The timing is really good because they are working to restructure that and make it a department again. It would be part-time, I believe, but we did hire somebody to be the land use administrative assistant to take some of the paperwork off of Tina's plate to free her time up for other things. So yeah, the timing of a letter of support, I think, would be very good.
Right,
Thanks, Crystal.
thank you.
Okay, Maura, you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Thanks.
anything else? You got anything else?
Nope.
Hey, Crystal, you got anything?
No, I do not.
Hey,
Good.
Pam?
I was just wondering, what's the latest on the country store on 171? Did the state get involved and limit how many pumps there
It's-
could be?
Yeah.
P and Z did. P and Z limited it.
I
They,
thought,
you
okay,
know,
I thought I had read something about the state getting involved. Okay.
I didn't see anything in the minutes about the state, but I
No.
know for P and Z, you know, proposed, you know, less pumps. And it passed. Grace?
The only thing, if anybody's interested in looking at the eagles from Shepog Dam, the viewing will be in February. So it's very cool if you're interested. As I
And where is
say,
that?
The Shepog Dam is in, now you're pushing it. Hold on.
It's a virtual thing, right?
Huh? Well, I don't know. I have the
Or you could go
directions.
for a walk on the Putnam River Trail and see eagles.
Yeah, but at the
Where's the
dam, it's
Shepog
very
Dam?
cool. The Shepog Dam is
Southbury.
Southbury, thank you. They're overseen by First Light, which is the power company. And basically, the reason the eagles are there is they turn on the power, and when the power comes on, all the fish come to the top of the dam, and the eagles know this. So it's an easy feed. And we've actually had lots and lots of viewing of them. And Christine's Critters and Mary Beth Kaiser come and do shows. It's free. You just have to go on line and make a reservation because, of course, with COVID, it's going to be a lot different. You're not going to be able to just go into the building, but it's a fun way to spend an afternoon. We do it on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays through the month of February and the first weekend in March. So anyway, if anybody's interested, as I said, just type in Shepog Dam and you'll get the whole viewing.
Grace,
Okay.
could you send out an email on that, please?
Sure,
Thank you.
I can do that.
Hey, Jordan, you have anything to talk about?
No, I'm good. Except for that dam thing sounds good. No, I'm good though. Thanks.
Hey, Ruby?
It's cool. It's cool.
I apologize for being late and I just was wondering, did I miss Lori? Did you apply to be part of the committee?
I did. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but it hasn't reached the selectmen yet. Just went in the mail today, so I'm not sure what the process will be from the selectmen's perspective, but.
Oh, you get a call on the phone and they tell you to come to the next selectmen meeting and you sit there and then once they get to you, they say, well, welcome. That's pretty much it.
Nice. That sounds great. So it seems like though it might be a matter of a couple of weeks. I'm just wondering if by the time this next meeting, commission's next meeting is scheduled, if I will know if I'm a member or not at that point.
I bet you will.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, if you go to a meeting and they vote you in, then
And if you don't, that's why we have item number 3 is public participation.
Great.
So
Great.
don't worry about it.
Well, I'll look forward to hearing from the selectmen and I'll follow up with them if I haven't heard.
Good.
So,
I've already got you on the email list, so you will
Good.
get the, the
Awesome.
invite.
well, it was great
Yeah.
being able to attend tonight. I really appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah, thank you much.
Very nice.
Ruby, anything else?
Oh, no,
Ru-
no.
Okay, Gene, what do you have for us?
Well, for a couple of years, we played around with the idea of hiring Andy from Audubon to do a bird survey on our property on Quarry Road. And each time we didn't have enough money left in the budget. And I thought I'd bring it up now because we have money in the budget, if we still want to do that, to get a bird survey in like May, when nesting birds will be there, to kind of get an idea of how important it is for bird habitat, but I don't recall what the cost was. It's like
It was 200 bucks, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it would be data that we would have to be able to say that this is the kind of habitat we have in Woodstock. I don't know how important it is, but I just thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, it's a
Gene?
good idea. If we don't have the money, it's a good idea. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, if we have the money
Yeah,
because we want to finish the year with zero, that's a worthwhile thing to spend on.
And Jean, also, if you wanted, I don't remember the guy's name, who was a college student who did it at the ECCD's Brooklyn Milo Apley Preserve with,
Aaron.
Aaron?
Yeah,
He's
Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
he's amazing. I mean, he did a wonderful job. And so, you know, I don't know if that
He
was
works
enough.
he works for Connecticut Audubon also. He works with Andy.
Right, but he did it as a volunteer for Judy. So I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
another option.
Yeah, well, I just remembered that we had talked about it for 2 years in a row, and it's coming up on that time to start planning for something like that this spring. One other thing, Grace, as our representative on the Ag Commission, would you prefer Maura and I to ask Stuart ourselves, or would you like to be a liaison? Because we would really like to get the Ag Commission appraised of a new project we're working on in Woodstock. This is an important project to make more funding available for farms in town. But I'd like to get, you know, the Ag Commission to know what it is. So should we just contact Stuart and see if we could set up a meeting?
Jean, I've already contacted him about that project.
Yeah, and he
So
doesn't-
yeah, so I mean, they're aware of it. So for anything else, you know, we, just so you know, we can.
okay,
we can-
I think a meeting would be really good to just talk about what we're doing. So they haven't met, this will give them a reason to meet.
Mm. Well, you've already spoken to him, so you can carry on there.
Okay.
I don't know whether they're going to be open to, well, technically, if you meet with less than, you know, 4 people or whatever, I don't think that would be an issue. They're not, I know there's not big on Zoom. But again, you know,
No,
as I say,
I felt very
you know,
accomplished because I got all my siblings on a Zoom meeting for Christmas. That's a first.
Hey, anything else, Gene?
No,
All right, does anyone else have anything for the good of the order? And if not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Ruby
Dean,
left already. Is there a second?
Sure, I'll
Jean
second.
made the motion, somebody needs to second.
Pam seconded.
Pam second.
Okay, 8:07, the meeting's adjourned. Thanks for coming. Everybody have a happy new year, happy and a healthy new year. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Yes, you as
And
well.
Yeah, we'll get together next month. Thanks for coming, Lori.
Okey-dokey.
Thank you. All the best. everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.